One morning many years ago, I woke up freaked out because I didn't know how I was going to take care of my family if something bad happened. Today we're going to talk about some very compelling reasons why having a well-stocked pantry will bring you peace of mind. Hey, Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene, and we want to tell you that food storage improves your quality of life. And today we're going to discuss how it can do that. You know, yesterday I was having a discussion with one of my friends, and he was telling me all the reasons why he doesn't store food. He said, you know, his parents never used it, he never used it, and they just threw it all away. And I was just like shocked because there are so many good reasons to store food. And perhaps if that's what's happening, you're not doing it quite right. Now let's talk about food storage as an insurance policy. Because think about this, if you've got life insurance, well, you didn't use it this year. So was that life insurance a waste just because you didn't use it, because you didn't die? No, we just take it for granted that we have these insurance policies so that if something happens, we'll be taken care of. Well, food storage is your best insurance against hunger and against hedging some of the things that happen to us to make sure that our families can always eat. There are so many excuses that you could come up with for not storing food, but today we're going to talk about 15 reasons why storing food has made a huge difference in the quality of our life.
Number one, natural disasters, and these things are happening all the time, but we don't want to be in a position of competing with everyone else. We want to be in a position where we can be a part of the solution and help others.
Number two is power outages or grid down. If the power goes out, stores may not be able to provide you with food. There's some little cash only thing, but for the most part, if you've got a grid down situation going, you need to have that food already in your home so you can bridge that gap until things are okay again.
Number three, personal emergencies. These are not big things for everyone. These are big things for us. Things that just kind of turn your world upside down.
In our lives, one of the good examples of this is when we had our little twins, Kenny and Christy. They were in the NICU for an entire month. One of them 3 weeks, one of them 4 weeks. It was a crazy, chaotic time in our lives. And we still had, we've got a lot of kids. And so we still had a whole family to feed while all of this was going on. Because we had food stored, I didn't have to worry about having to go to the grocery store and stock up to make sure that everybody had something to eat. We had systems in place, and that was a huge blessing for us. Number four is economic uncertainties, job losses. John worked for the federal government, and sometimes when the government shuts down, you don't get a paycheck for a while. Having food allows you to just bridge that gap until you can settle things again when the economy is a little bit crazy.
Number five, sometimes it's just not safe to go out, whether it's civil unrest or some kind of a pandemic or whatever, snowstorms, and having your food supply just makes a huge difference.
Number six is probably one of my favorites, and that is that I buy low and buy in bulk, which saves me a huge amount on food. If something, say ketchup, goes on sale, I buy enough to last me for the entire year. And then I never have to buy that item at a normal price. It takes rotating, right? But I can do that. But we save a huge amount of money by buying in bulk and buying when things go on sale.
Number seven, eliminating impulse purchases. Things like, we don't have anything for dinner tonight, so let's just spend 40 or 50 bucks on pizza and have it delivered, when we could have made a meal for much, much less that would be much healthier.
We learned this great lesson when we did our 90-day no shopping challenge. For 90 days, we couldn't go out to eat, and we could only eat from our food storage and our garden. I learned that marketing had a really big hold on me, and that so often I was going into the store and purchasing things that I didn't really need because it was there or it was on sale or, 1,000 different reasons. But after we did the 90-day challenge, it kind of broke that hold that it had on me, and we started eating and shopping completely differently. That was a great opportunity for us. If you click the card in the corner, I'll take you to the playlist that we created when we did that challenge. But one of the big things that we saved was like $700 or something over that 3 months and that was after restocking everything that we had used. We still saved that much money. Number 8, which is, for me, it just eliminates the stress, because when I want to make something, I have everything I need on hand, right? I don't have to plan and go to the store saying, oh, I want to make this cake and I need these ingredients. I can just say, hey, I want to make this for dinner, and I've got everything that I need. Or I've got ingredients I can substitute for something that maybe a Pinterest recipe had recommended.
Number 9, fewer shopping trips. The average American goes to the market 1.6 times a week, and I know people that go 3 or 4 times a week, and maybe some even go more than that. But you think of all the time and money and gas that you're spending to take all these trips when you could just have it in your home.
Number 10 is I am prepared for unexpected guests, whether I have kids drop by for dinner or we have a neighbor who needs a meal brought in. I don't have to go to the store. I don't have to stress about it. I have all the ingredients that I need on hand. And in fact, we had this happen just the other day. We have a dear friend who was very, very ill and needed dinner brought in. And I put on this potato soup, and John, in his bread maker, just put in a loaf of bread. It was beautiful. Like 3 hours later, we had this beautiful loaf of bread and this hot soup, and we were able to take it over to their house. Always being prepared no matter what comes up. Oh, such great peace of mind for me.
Number 11 is building community relationships. We're always talking about the need to build our community. Well, we have a whole bunch of neighbors that know that if they need something, they can count on us. We've got it for them. Sometimes they just need something quick for a recipe. Whatever it is, we get lots of calls and we're able to help people, and we love doing it.
We had a beautiful experience yesterday where Jonathan had been sharing one of his skills with someone, and they came over and they raise beef cows, and they dropped off this huge amount of beautiful quality beef. And it's about these relationships. It doesn't always have to be food that you're trading, but learning to barter, and those relationships, like that strengthened our relationship. So we may not be able to raise a beef cow, but we can definitely raise fruits and vegetables to share, or share something else with them. So what you do now to strengthen those relationships will translate for a healthier, happier life, especially when disaster strikes. Now let's go into number 12. And number 12 is about teaching our children and instilling confidence in them through food storage. One day when my children were little, we had gone to my mother-in-law's, and she loves to have the news on. And we don't have cable in our home, so my children aren't used to that. And on the news, there was some really scary stuff going on, and I was a little bit afraid of what had happened. So when we got home, I debriefed my kids. I'm like, hey, what did you think about what you saw on the news at Grandma's house? They talked about how it was really scary, but they said, but it's okay, Mom, we'll be okay because we have our food storage. Now, food storage had nothing to do with the huge fire that was going on the TV. But what children are concrete thinkers, right? And so if they can see it, taste it, touch it, feel it, they are going to, there's concreteness there, and it makes them secure. My kids have the skills to cook their food. They know how to rotate food. I mean, it has given our family so many different skills when we're teaching our children that I think that's been a huge blessing in our life.
Number 13 is our ability to contribute and help with some kind of a community disaster. It gives us the ability to reach out and help others and to be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. And we love that ability to help others in need.
Number 14 is one of the most important to me, actually, and that is because a prophet of God has told us to prepare by having some food stored and some financial reserve. If you read the book of Revelation and everything that's happening in the end times, I believe with all my heart that that is going to happen, and that by being physically prepared with food and savings and water and the things that we need, we will be much better able to handle the challenges that are ahead. And one of the very interesting things, there is this pamphlet called All is Safely Gathered In. I will leave a link to it, and it'll tell you exactly what we've been counseled to do. But one of the main reasons is so that we can be self-reliant and so that we can bless the lives of others. That is exactly what we need to be prepared to do.
Number 15, ultimately, it's peace of mind. Going back to the story of me waking up one day, that was my wake-up call, and it has turned into a blessed journey, a wonderful journey of being able to not only take care of us. That was my immediate focus, was how am I going to take care of my family? But it's now, how do I take care of my family? And then how do we bless others' lives? It's just this mental shift happened somewhere along this path that it's not just about me, and it shouldn't be.
And the mental shift went a little bit from what if something happens to, hey, we're ready. No matter what happens, we've done everything that we can, and we're ready. Prepping and food storage give us this deep, lasting sense of security. Yes, I am still dependent on God because I can only do so much, and God can take care of the rest. Let's take this back to insurance. This is edible insurance. This is food storage, just makes so much sense. And back to my friend's comment about it all just went to waste. There is something in business called shrinkage, and it is an expectation, whether it's vegetables rotting before they're being sold, or theft, or there's always this anticipated shrinkage. And we experience that in our own food storage. Sometimes there's things that have to go to the chickens or that need to be thrown away. But that is part of insurance, right? That is part of having your stores and what you need. And you experience shrinkage all the time, whether you're storing your food for long term or not. But what a huge blessing it is for me, all these different reasons, to have the peace that I've got food. I have a ton of company coming for Christmas, and I've got food to feed them no matter what happens. For me, food storage is worth the confidence, the peace, and the financial benefits that I get from having that system in place. But one tip that I would give from all of these years of storing food is that you really want to store what you eat and eat what you store and keep that rotated.
Now for the question of the day. Why do you store food, and how has it blessed your life? Drop those down in the comments. Let's have some discussion. Let's learn from each other. And thanks for being part of the solution.